Namaskar to all and all. We thank our members who have joined online, and a very good afternoon to all present here and the members who have
Afternoon,
been
sir.
waiting. Sorry for the delay. Our guest of honor is here and we are about to begin the program. I'll just introduce a little about the Institute's Committee on Artificial Intelligence, which has been created to as a thought leadership within the institute in the domain of artificial intelligence and to find out the professional impact and cost and management accounting. The committee will advise ICMAI on steps to be taken by it in terms of changes to create future ready professionals or design capacity building programs for its members. This day, 16th July, is currently celebrated as International AI Appreciation Day. And to mark this occasion, the Institute has called for this seminar in a hybrid mode so that all members interested can join us from all over the world. The topic is artificial intelligence, reshaping the accounting profession, and the disruption to accounting education. Today, we have a galaxy of
Sir, you got on mute. Can you unmute, please?
lighting the lamp. Institute and then please.
Sir,
I
screen.
request CMA Ovijit Goswami sir and also CMA Mukti sir to join during the lighting. Thank you.
तमसोमा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Thank you so much, sir. I request all the dignitaries, President CMA Ashwin Dalwadi sir, Chairman of the committee Neeraj Joshi sir, our guest of honor Mr. Atunu Sinha, Global Director HCL CMA MK Anand sir, Chittaranjan sir, to please take your seat on the dais. May I now request CMA MK Anand sir, Council Member and Chairman, Professional Development Committee of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, to kindly present the welcome address of this seminar.
Thank you very much.
chief guest of the today's function, Mr. Atnu Sinha, Global Director, HCL Technologies, our President, Dalwadi sir, Neeraj ji, the Chairman of AI Committee, Chitranjan Dada, Murthy ji, Abhijit Goswami ji, my council colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and my very dear friends, Ashok ji, and many others over here, basically. This is a great day for all of us because this has been a very challenging time when Neeraj Bhai took upon himself that despite the shortage of time and all that, we will definitely celebrate on this international day when we are celebrating this AI day and how to look into all these areas. I think it is with his sheer initiative and his sheer hard work that we are seeing this program into implementation today. I am also thankful to Mr. Atanu Sinha, who, despite his very was on an immediate basis. So I welcome that initiative on his part. I welcome all of you who have taken time from your very busy schedules to attend to this very exciting seminar. The speakers we are having from different places, mainly from Pune. I welcome all of you from there, and I am sure all of us will are there for a very interesting understanding and interesting discussions today. I welcome you all once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the welcome address. May I now request CMA Neeraj Joshi, sir, the chairman of Committee on Artificial Intelligence of the Institute, to please present the theme of this seminar today.
Thank you, Pradipta ji. Respected Atanu Sinha sir, chief guest for today's program. CMA Ashwin Dalwadi ji, president of the institute. CMA MK Anand.
Sir, your sound is not audible, sir. Hello.
We
Sorry.
do have a committee on management accounting. Under that committee, we have taken a first step of designing some courses for members education on AI. So we have that first step taken under the MAC, but then Ashwin.
Sir, you are not audible.
Sir, your voice
AI
is
ready professionals, be them the members, be them the students. And with this logic, very recently, we have formed this committee. We call it as AI Capacity Building and Strategy Committee. So the objective of this particular committee is to design a strategy for the institute so that we shall not be found gasping when we go 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, that our members shall be there as the front leaders in the domain of AI 5 years down the line, or the students shall be prepared in that direction. It shall also give the institute a process of thinking that where we shall concentrate our efforts on. Suggestions we shall give to the government so as to ensure that there is ethical standards that are met when we are developing AI in the.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. It's not audible.
Sir, your voice is breaking. And it is happen again and again.
Again and again it is happening. Yes. Still not audible.
Hello.
Hello. Sir, your voice is not audible.
Addressed by CMA Vijay Kiran Agatsya sir. He's our own member, but he's ex Deloitte vice president and currently having his own company in the AI training space. So he will be coming and addressing us on various tools that are there in AI or how professionals can integrate various applications for their benefit. We have also requested CMA Mr. Saurabh Shukla, who heads the AI and innovative side of Bank of Baroda. So he is CT of Bank of Baroda. So he has accepted to address us. So they both will be addressing virtually. After that, we will not be having more of lectures, but we will have a roundtable interview session. I always find that roundtable interview sessions are much more interesting, and you can get much more facts or understanding of the subject. So we have expert coming joining us for the discussion. Miss Aruna Singh, Director Finance of Microsoft, will be joining us for that. We have Dr. Rahi Vaimbe. She is an AI researcher with the Symbiosis Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence. She comes from the technical and educational background. Then we have our own CMA Ashutosh Saitwal, who is founder CEO of Clark Stack AI. So their company is basically involved in developing various AI analytical tools. So he has been a thorough IT professional, but the both sides of the business. And we have our own Subhashish Chakravarti sir, who is a management consultant, so he can give his aspect. And the interview will be taken by our own CMA Rushikesh. So he is working with an IT company. So he also has a background of IT and AI. That is how the current program has been structured for next 2-3 hours. So we will surely have good deliberations and discussions. So I am requesting all the members present here also that during the session or during the interview, if you have any particular question or you want to address somebody, ask some question, you can please go ahead. Also for my members who have joined online, you can raise your hand and maybe then you can post the question which we can later on. Correct. That will be for the next last session when it's an interview kind of a thing. Correct. With this, I once again welcome you all for this particular program on AI titled Reshaping the Accounting Profession and the Disruptions to Accounting Education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. For the online participants and members, respected members, we are just please, we have kept you on mute and we will be discussing on that. Presently, you are on mute. I take this privilege to introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Atunu Sinha, Global Director, ACL Tech, for this program. He leads IT innovation and transformation in finance and HR space. With over 25 years of experience in the IT industry, Sri Atanu has been instrumental in driving large-scale transformation programs across various sectors. His leadership and strategic vision have consistently delivered exceptional results, helping organizations streamline operations and achieve significant cost savings. His thought leadership has inspired many professionals and to embrace cutting edge technologies. Additionally, Atunuji has authored several influential white papers on business process automation, providing deep insights into optimizing business processes through automation. His contributions continue to shape the future of the information technology sector, driving transformative changes across industries. We welcome you, sir. May I now request our President, Sir, CMA Ashwin Dalwadiji, sir, to kindly felicitate our guest of honor, Mr. Atuna Singh Sinha, Global Director, HCL Technologies. Thank you so much, sir. Our council member and chairman of IT committee, CMA TCS Srinivasa Prasad, sir would be addressing us online. So may I now request sir to kindly enlighten the members and the participants online with your present address on the topic of this afternoon.
Good afternoon.
TCS sir,
I hope,
are you online?
good afternoon. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you, Chairman of the committee and the chief guest, President, Vice President, and all council members and members who are attending this workshop physically and virtually. Right, the topic is accounting profession, reshaping of it, and the disruption in accounting education. I think all of us have seen all the disruptions which have happened technologically have finally ended in real benefits when used properly to the mankind. So what's happening is one such disruption which is happening. But before that, when we really get into the impact on accounting profession, so what are all the things that are happening? You have on automation of routine tasks, which we used to spend a lot of time. Now that has become very easy and time wise it has reduced. And some of the examples are your data entry and even the audits. Some of the portions is being done by AI. Then we have enhanced data analysis. If you really look at it, because predictive analysis is gaining a lot of momentum now. Previously, we didn't have that kind of a thing. Even predictive costing is taking a big lead on that. Previously, we have only an estimated cost. Now we can have a predictive costing, predictive analysis, predictive maintenance, all these things. So the AI can really help the accountants and the management professionals in forecasting the trends, improve financial planning, and definitely data-driven decisions. Real-time reporting, all of us know. The other one, the major one, is improved accuracy and compliance, where definitely the errors can be reduced, and definitely regulatory compliance also will be done in a much efficient way. And we have a strategic role and client interaction. But the second portion of today's deliberation, if you really look at it, it is on a disruption to accounting education. What happens? We'll have to have a curriculum change, really. Technology integration is one which is definitely needed, where we'll have to have AI, ML, and data analytics. The students need to be prepared for what's in store in tomorrow. In fact, it is not even tomorrow, it is yesterday. So students as well as members, we'll have to do and focus on soft skills, the soft skills which we have been talking so far, that also has a different connotation these days. So that also we'll have to say on critical thinking, problem solving, innovation, and all simulation tools. And we should have an internship and partnerships with the manufacturing organization and the service organization, which uses a lot of AI tools so that our students get maximum practical exposure so that they are ready from the day one they join an organization. And lifelong learning in the recently concluded national convention, we have heard one of the very learned speaker talking earlier. It was earn once and then learn for your rest of your life. Now the things have changed. It is earn, it is learn, and then earn for some time, again go for learning, again earn for some time, again go for learning. So it's a lifelong learning and a continuous education, learn, unlearn, relearn, again learn, unlearn, relearn. And we will have online courses. The one more important thing is the ethical consideration, which we should definitely take into account when we are going to use these AAML and deep learning algorithms. But what all could be the future trends? They could be AI-driven decision making, which is already happening, blockchain technology and the integration on a big way, then customized client service. So we will be able to do customized client services and global collaboration. So I thought these are all the important points which can be deliberated, and I thought I'll bring out these points. And thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with your valuable presentation. Our CMA Rajendra Singh Bhatti, council member, has got entangled with some urgent work, and he has sent his message that he won't be able to address us now. So, may I now request our President, sir, of the Institute, CMA Ashwin Dalwadi, sir, to kindly present the presidential remarks for this afternoon. Sir.
Good afternoon, Sri Atnu Saha sir, Global Director, HCL Technologies, speakers in the next sessions, my colleague in the council, Manoj Kumar Anandji, Chairman PD Committee, Neeraj Joshi ji, Chairman AI Committee, and our dear Chitranjan Chittopadhyay ji, Chittoda ji, Chairman and Chairman BFSI and Member AI Committee, and my other center colleagues, Murthy ji and Avijit ji, dear members. It is my honor that and privilege to address you all at this program, particularly on a day which is very important. It is AI connected artificial intelligence day. See, I congratulate AI committee for organizing this program, particularly with a title Reshaping the Accounting Profession and the Disruption to Accounting Education. I remember around in the year 1992 or 93, in one of the programs, sorry, 2002-3, in one of the programs at Nasik, Mr. Anand Mahindra was our chief guest. And he pointed out that I'm not comfortable with accountants, accounting professionals. He said that when I took over, because at that time he was young, uh, and he has taken over the Mahindra and Mahindra business at that time very recently. So he pointed out that I have noticed that wherever the computerization is going on, it first starts with the accounting department. He narrated it in a very nice way, but in a nutshell, I would say that his point was that accountants were never able to provide the precise data. And that is where every time the problems were being faced by the managers and entrepreneurs. And he pointed out that in my company, it was really interesting, this portion, that again accounting EDP, at that time the word was more popular around EDP. This wherever the companies have started computerization, it is under the control of accountants. Matlab, CFO or accounts, general manager accounts were, I mean, monitoring those things. But in my company, I have reversed that because that accountants are always talking about the compliance part. They are more focusing on compliance part. And because of that, it is not happening. Now, thereafter, if we look at the stage today, computerization in accounts and many areas is there. And we have reached to today now AI is almost, I would say, it is reshaping the industries. It is a fact that we are not talking about the things which is going to come. It has already come. And AI has got a vast ability to process the vast amount of data with unparalleled speed, accuracy, and it offers a tremendous opportunity to enhance the capabilities of everybody and particularly accountants also. So the question may arise that what would happen to accountants because accounting functions are almost being taken over by the computers and now we are adding AI to that on those programs. So whatever the compliance functions are there, if it is programmed, it is validated through AI, it will be more precisely the AI will be managing all these functions. So, and very simple, in simple words, now for accounting, while doing accounting, passing accounting entries, the principles of accounts, a person, if he is not knowing, then also he can create the desired reports, which will be matching with the all accounting systems, principles, and rules. So now this will definitely affect the accounting profession because now so far once accounts were coming before us, we were doing some analysis, this and that. Now AI will provide you. Now what would be our situation then? That's a big question. But at the same time, while raising the question, let me tell you very frankly that all developments in the area of technology, whether it is any kind of technology, it provides a more help to us. It is facilitating our all operations, all activities, even day-to-day activities also. So I think we need not get afraid about this AI. But only thing is we shall have to readjust ourselves because there are certain challenges. I would simply define like this that look, AI and computer programs, or I would say data analytics, everything works upon the past data which is there in the machines. Only AI and nowadays the big change is that of a speed and analysis possibility of analyzing high volume data within a very small time. So then the issue before us, I would simply give you the analogy that if you take any car nowadays, there are three rear view rear rear view mirrors, and our all data analysis and everything is based on this rear view. But if you want to move forward, then our windscreen is biggest. How to adjust this windscreen? Because now it seems that 360-degree cameras are there. So only back view mirror is not enough. We feel and we have got 360-degree view. But if you want to move with a speed, with a velocity, then what to do? Yes, this AI will help us. How it will help us? I'm sure uh, we will be looking at it nowadays. And at this juncture, it is very a kind of feeling that AI will do everything and we will be removed from our regular functions. I am very sure it is not going to happen because this has happened earlier also when the short SMS came, short messaging, the equipments came. We were feeling that now phones will go. They have left. Now they are not available. The internet came. We felt that now it will be easy and fax will go. Faxes are still there, but better paper, I mean, better control sheets or whatever we were getting the fax material, fax material. We were able to say that with security that this is the document which can stand in a legal uh, testimony. So this nowadays also we are getting whatever through email. It is also it approved by the courts also. So with this, I congratulate Sri CMA Neeraj Joshi, Chairman AI Committee of ICMAI, and all his initiatives and organizing. This is a great event. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you and all dignitaries who are present in physically and online as we embark on this ex- exploration of AI's role in reshaping accounting. Let us remember that change, change, while changing, also brings new opportunities. Change will bring new opportunities for growth and improvement. By embracing AI, we can enhance our professional practices, drive innovation, and uphold the highest standards of excellence in accounting. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your presidential address for the benefit of all participants. May I now request our guest of honor, Mr. Atunu Sinha, Global Director, ACL, to kindly address our participants of this program. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable President Sir, CMA Ashwini Dalwadi ji, uh, Honorable Chairman of AI Committee, CMA Neeraj Joshi ji, Chairman PD Committee, CMA M.K. Anand ji, CMA Chitranjan Chattopadhyay ji, Council Member and Member of AI Committee, CMA TC A. Srinivas Prasad ji, Council Member and Member of AI Committee, CMA Rajendra Singh Bhatti ji, Council Member and Member of AI Committee. Thank you, all of you, to invite me today in this occasion. I feel privileged and honor to be standing in front of all of you. Uh, such a august gathering of dignitaries, um, and to share some of my experiences and insights on this interesting topic of reshaping the accounting profession with AI and the disruption on to the accounting education. AI is definitely bringing disruption to the industry in all parts of life, be it to business, be it in the personal space. it is disrupting. It's a beginning of a new technological era, which will change the way we think. We always thought machines will obey to our command. Today we are talking about making the machines intelligent. So they will not only obey our command, they will be intelligent. So that brings a very different paradigm shift of our understanding about machines. I remember early 90s. Many of you would remember. We there was a serial then called PC or Mossy, where this Mossy was giving command to PC, then personal computer, which came at that time, and then the personal computer was doing all the household activities. It was futuristic then, but today it's a reality with AI coming in. So that's how AI will be shaping the lives and touching the life of all of us, be it accounting professional, be it business professional, be it at the personal level. The AI is not just a concept now. It has evolved much beyond that. Lots of investments have gone into AI. The big Fortune 500 companies are investing a lot, be it Microsoft, be it Google, be it any other company. Excel Tech is also investing a lot on AI, because everybody sees the opportunity in the way AI can transform lives of people, transform the way we do business. Medical fraternity is another space where it is going to make a lot of difference. Um, the question always arises: human versus machine. This talk has been there since ages. This talk has been there when computers came into the play. This talk is again coming into the picture with AI coming into the play. Whether machines will replace human, I don't think that is a concern with anybody. Machine can never replace human. Human has a definite way of doing things. Machines, be it intelligent machine, can do a particular thing in a particular way. It can never replace the intellect capacity of the human brain. So that we should keep in the mind. This talk about human versus machine will happen, will go, but human will always be superior to the machine. When we talk about AI, we talk about there are multiple things in AI that we should know, we should remember. It's AI is an umbrella uh, or a superset of multiple technology which comes into the play when we talk about AI. We know about robots. Now we talk about robotic process automation, RPA, through which we do lots of automations into processes. I visited Volvo facility in Sweden, and they had 1,000 plus shop floor employees at one point of time. With the robotic being in place, they reduced it to 100, and that too only at the quality check of the shop floor. All other processes were automated. Everything was automated. The entire assembly line was going through. Nothing was on the shop floor. Everything was going through the terrace. So uh, robotic process automation brings that kind of uh, uh, possibilities. So it works on a structured data. Wherever the data is structured, you can use the robotic process automation. But wherever data is not structured, that's where ML comes in the picture, which is machine learning. Now, machine learning is like the machine is learning based on the data that you feed to the machine. So machine learns that data and then it is able to predict based on that data. So that's where machine learning comes to the picture. We also talk about OCR, optical character recognition, which is like reading from a piece of paper and digitizing that piece of paper. So then we also talk about LLM, large language module. A chatbot is an example where you communicate with the machine. There are a set of maybe 100 question and answer that you feed to the machine, and then when as a user you ask some question, the LLM model is able to comprehend that into the system language, from a human language to a system language, and then translate it, and then able to find the response out of those 100 answers that is there in the system and revert back to you. All these are different technological options which you have on this space, which together makes it the system as an intelligent system, where we call it AI. AI has further possibilities. AI is not only learning from the data which is fed to the system, it is also, and not only comprehending from that data, it is also generating their own intelligence from that data. So, example, today, if you see, we all surf Netflix, we all surf Amazon or Netflix, or even Facebook, Insta. They, based on your browsing pattern, they suggest, they recommend, they show what you have been browsing. So all this comes through the ML technology, where machine learns your behavioral pattern based on the browsing history, and then predicts, and then present before you all the recommendations in front of you. But when you make this further, when you go further on this and make it more intelligent, we talk about driverless car. Driverless cars, which is true today, which is truth today, also feeds lots of data as part of the machine learning. But eventually, it has its own intelligence. It has to behave in a particular way. All data cannot be fed into the system. So when it is on the road, it has to have an intelligence to behave on it. So that's where AI on top of ML comes into the picture. So all this brings lot of possibilities for the human race. On, like I said, finance is definitely one of the key area where lots of possibilities emerge as part of AI. Medical is another area where lots of possibilities emerge. The entire transport system, including your driverless cars, there are lots of possibilities in that space. So everywhere, I mean, AI is, like I said, is revolutionizing the change today. It's disrupting the way we think, the way it can bring different possibilities. It's early. It's very, very early. We are fortunate to see this grow. We as an HCL Tech is also trying to explore the possibilities AI can bring, like any other company. So it's early, but it is at a very interesting stage of technology innovation. Maybe from a few years from now, if not a decade, we would see a lot more possibilities. Chat GPT is one of them, which we say the way um, it can understand our human language, and then generate lots and lots of information based on what we are asking for. So those possibilities would eventually span out in different space that we see today. In the finance space, we in HCL Tech also are working into multiple domains, be it in the area of cash application, how we can read multiple sources through which the remittances are coming, how we can read the bank statement. Well, all those sources have different formats. How the system can read and then apply that cash and then clear that cash through the invoices. Also at the accounts payable stage, how we can read the invoices, translate it into the payment documents. At the claim stage, how we can read different claims, different type of invoices in that claim, and then um, um, uh, have a touchless kind of a claim processing for anybody who is raising a claim. He can get the claim reimbursed maybe in a day with zero touch, where system only identifies the gaps, and if there are exceptions, system triggers those exceptions. So these are some small use cases which we are exploring. There are much bigger use cases in the areas of um, um, uh, uh, forecasting, prediction, where we can leverage AI. So the possibilities are immense. Eventually, we would grow to that, to those opportunities and possibilities of AI. Uh, But it's important also to think about one thing, which is the talk of the industry now, is how to make AI ethical. Where AI brings lots of opportunities, it also brings lots of threat to our personal life. So how to make it more ethical so that that the threat of AI is not there. So that is again a big space which is being explored today. We see lots of issues where in social media because of AI. So how those can be eliminated? I think governments have a key role to play here. They are working along with the industry to make sure that we build a AI which is safe for human consumption. Uh, so. Like I said, I mean, it has immense possibilities. As an institution as prestigious as this, I think it is really great that we all are thinking on those lines. We are when we are creating the future entrepreneurs, the future leaders of the industries. We are making them AI enabled. We are talking about how we can make sure that our future leaders understand the technology and understand the possibilities of AI. So I thank you and the institution to take that leap forward and at the right time, to make sure that our future leaders are equipped with the knowledge and capabilities of AI. I think that is a great step forward in this space. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic. It's interesting, and I look forward to lot more insights and deliberation to from all of you on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Such a young and dynamic director. We are honored to have you here, sir. May I now request CMA Chittaranjan Chattopadhyay, sir, council member, chairman of BFSI board of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, to kindly present the summing up and the vote of thanks of this session.
Namaskar. My respected president of the institute, CMA Oshini Dalwadi, the chief guest of this today's AI Appreciation Day, Mr. Atanu Sinha. He hails from my same district where I also belong. So this way, today I'm feeling privileged rather. And then my vice president in absentia and the jovial and the most, active, one of the active council members who is always thinking out of box. That is CMA Neeraj Joshi, chairman of this AI Capacity Building and Strategy Committee, and our here who is continuously helping us to move ahead, CMA MK Anand, chairman of PD Committee, our council member, and of course our CMA KCH SN Murthy, Central Council member and the chairman of Journal Committee, who is here, and my good friend CMA Obhijit Goswami, Central Council member and chairman of PSU Coordination Board, and our CMA T. Srinivas Prasad, as we have seen, ever young council member who is heading this our IT committee, and all my other council colleagues, and esteemed panelists and esteemed participants, officials of the institute. First of all, I convey my heartfelt thanks for your kind presence and listening to the speeches. Especially, my president has given the clarion call for our profession, how we will be driving into the world of AI. As of course, our chief guest has given his directions to us, and our chairman of this committee, he has taken a bold step. Friends, before I conclude my summing up, I just want to mention on 25th June, Goldman Sachs Goldman Sachs has come out with a research paper. It's a top of mind. Research paper contains generative AI, too much spend, too little benefit. I repeat, too much spend, too little benefit. Being a CMA, it's close to our heart because we'll be always looking for that. And of course, that cannot be considered by AI except CMAs. Therefore, I thought that I should put before you. And there are many researchers. Daron S. Maglu, Institute Professor, MIT. Then Brian Janos, co-founder of Microsoft, former Vice President of Energy, Microsoft. Jim Covello, Head of Global Equity Research, Goldman Sachs, and other equity research foundation people are there. They have expressed their, they have commented how this AI and generative AI on this particular question of this research, too much spend, too little benefit. I find this paper contains excellent insights in the whole, as Mr. Shah was telling, that ultimately at the end of the day, the human will be prevailing. And we also believe. And here our management accountant will always remain relevant in the field of accounting. And that's why my president, this time we have organized the National Cost and Management Accounting Convention instead of National Cost Accounting Conventions. So I think this is one of the important, issues, important, day today for us that we have started with this AI journey. And I just want to mention that how Mr. Daron is looking ahead with this AI. He's telling the current architecture of AI technology itself may have limitations. Human cognitions involves many types of cognitive process, sensory inputs, and reasoning capabilities. Large language models today, which has been mentioned by our honorable speaker, and today have proven more impressive than many people would have predicted. But a big leap of faith is still required to believe that the architect of predicting the next word in a sentence will achieve capabilities as smart as HAL 9000 in 2001, a space odyssey. It's all but certain that current AI models won't achieve anything close to such a feat within the next 10 years, he's predicting. Why I am just mentioning before you? Because as a CMA, we have a lot of, studies. Our institute will definitely venturing into many other studies on that. But at the end of the day, this technology, I believe, firmly believe, will not be able to take those KPIs, key performance index, which we know. And that is the strength of our profession. And that strength will definitely lead us to better. And if we collaborate with the AI, with the various techniques, we are sure that it would be a complete cycle. There will be a 360-degree views for our profession. So I congratulate my chairman of this committee to take up these issues. Friends, just I will finish with another observation of Jim Covello, the head of global equity research at Goldman Sachs. They have not bought into the current generative AI enthusiasm nearly as much as others. Why? Because they still believe that, yes, people have to be more trained. And he has also predicted in that way, the people generally substantially overestimate what the technology is capable of today. In our experience, even basic summarization tasks often yield illegible and nonsensical results. This is not a matter of just some tweaks being required here and there. Despite this expensive price tag, the technology is now here near where it needs to be in order to be useful for even such basic tasks. And I struggle to believe that the technology will ever achieve the cognitive reasoning required to substantially augment or replace human interactions. Humans add the most value, please note, humans add the most value to complex tasks by identifying and understanding outliers and nuances in a way that it is difficult to imagine a model trained on historical data would ever be able to do. So here lies our strength. And I think as a CMA, we shall definitely will be collaborating and we'll be having our continuous journey in the AI and we shall take the best benefit of artificial intelligence techniques. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, we end the inaugural session of this program. I would now request our dignitaries to take their seats with the audience. We have a technical session. The first technical session is to begin now. I would request our speakers online, Mr. Saurabh Shukla, sir. Just a minute, sir.
Yeah, we are trying to connect with Saurabh Shukla, sir, because he was in a meeting with RBI. He is already connected. Yeah, so please.
So I have the privilege to introduce Mr. Saurabh Shukla. He is the head of artificial intelligence, innovations and COEs at Bank of Baroda with so much experience in the banking industry. He would be able to address us in terms of fintech use of artificial intelligence, and he would share his banking experience as well and how the cost and management accounting may support the system in the development of this economy. He will speak on the title of impact of AI in the banking and finance domain. Sir, may I request you to unmute yourself and present before us your presentation for this program. Shukla sir?
Hello, sir. Shukla, sir.
Please unmute yourself, sir. He's having a minor technical glitch. He will be shortly joining us. Please bear with us.
Sir, I just accepted your the invitation in MS Team. I would request you to please unmute your mic and the camera. Saurabh, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can
Okay.
hear. Am I audible? Yes. Sir.
Yes, yes. Welcome, sir. Can you please focus? Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank the management committee for giving me this opportunity to talk on this subject. And I would like to congratulate the management committee on this because it's a very right time and very right topic which we all discussing across the industries, across the profession, and all the things like how artificial intelligence is shaping and changing our way of working, how it is adding certain element related to productivity. It's opening up a lot of new windows and all those things. So that is out happening across the industry. So I'll take a pause here and I'll just go little back and see what actually changed during last so many years and why this topic is becoming more important as on date. So if we go fundamentally, artificial intelligence and the related technology exist for last so many years. But what is the change fundamentally like because of the availability of data? Because a lot of things happening on the side where we have a lot of presence on the digital data. Now data is available in digital form, so it can be used and processed by anybody for the different purposes. So many advancement happening on the side, like where we are more power to do some sort of computation, because the technology intervention are also happening in that area, with while cloud is also coming. So it is opened up a very wide window actually, just to start people using this technology, using this algorithm, using this data for the purpose of business benefits. And it varies across industry to industry, because artificial intelligence is a broad set of technology. We generally talk about machine learning and these kind of technologies which help us in predicting certain things. They help in classifying certain things. But there are set of technologies like the ability of machine to understand the human conversation, the ability of machines to respond in a way like a human being, ability of machine to differentiate different objects and all those things, like adding to some sort of vision and all those things. So there are so many set of technology, and in whole set, the fundamentally, because of the availability of the data and because of the availability on the compute, it is becoming more and more important. And we all see, like last 1.5 year, what happened with the advent of chat GPT and generative AI kind of stuff. That again changed a lot of things, and people have started experimenting a lot of things, because earlier these models exist, but obviously what chat GPT or these kind of technologies have done, they have given it like very, very citizen kind of mode. So people can start experimenting, doing certain things. They can ask certain questions, they can summarize the information, they can process information in multiple forms. So these kind of changes are happening in ecosystem, and that is why each and every industry is now started experimenting or doing some meaningful work in this direction. And now every organization and every bank or industry is talking about the AI strategy, the kind of roles like chief AI officer. And so these kind of developments are happening. The purpose is like to understand this, how this particular technology is affecting us, affecting our profession, and affecting our industry for the better, so that we can take advantage of all those things for making more benefits in our personal life, professional life, and our own industry. So that is the high background. And I'll give some context like of the banking, the industry where I actually from. So in banking industry, there are a lot of use cases, and every bank is in a different state and different maturity depending on their own commitment towards it at this juncture, how they're planning. But there are fundamental use cases which everybody is using, like the people are using artificial intelligence, and particularly I'll say machine learning and this kind of technology for the cross selling, upselling, the lot of things people are doing for churn prediction, like if to prevent the customer attrition. There are a lot of models of similar nature are used for the delinquency protection, like if somebody has taken a loan, then what is the probability of default. They're doing a lot of complex scenario like stress testing and all those things, like in any odd time like COVID and all, like, what is the impact, like how does my portfolio will behave, what will be the impact. So a lot of simulations are happening. So in every aspect, if we say, because banking again is a universal banking is a large gamut, but artificial intelligence is affecting each and everything. So one part, like a lot of machine learning is being used in this area, particularly for the purpose of classification. The another area, a lot of things are happening on the forecasting side, like when we talk about very simple use case like ATM cash forecasting. So just ability to understand like how my ATMs machines are behaving across country and what is their pattern. So earlier we were using the ARIMA kind of or many other statistical model for that purpose, but because of the availability of data and advanced algorithms and all, there are a lot of other techniques which are again complementing these kind of forecasting to get the better results. So that's another area. The treasury functions in the bank, they again do a lot of cash management and these kind of stuff. So that's again area where we are using it. Probability of default or interest risk on banking books. So there are sophisticated areas also in banking domain which are very regulated. So now we are seeing the trend, and we are also using some sophisticated kind of machine learning and advanced model for this purpose. Another area, if I say, because I'm generally talking the use cases I've seen in the industry and how it is evolving. Another area, a lot of things are happening on the customer service side. So customer service, everything started with the original chatbots, and again these chatbots are taking new shape with generative AI kind of technology, which adds a lot of human kind of conversation ability. So that's another addition. So we are seeing the implementation in the contact center, because we also have done some sort of implementation in contact center where our inbound calls are being answered by the machine. So there is no more wait time. People can get access to information or service on instant basis. And again, a lot of variations coming on that, because now people are creating virtual avatars, which avatars are talking just like I'm presenting here, the avatar is presenting certain things. So these kind of use cases are coming in the training industry, and a lot of things are in our own contact center where virtual agent, relationship managers are talking to people. They are giving them financial advice and that is very personal also, because they can access the data. So the information or advice can be very, very personal. So the point here is like the relationship management for a large enterprise, which was very complicated thing, but the technology offers that opportunity that that particular thing can also be used for that, but because virtually every customer can have a relationship manager. So that kind of potential the technology do. There are a lot of work happening in the area of fraud, the financial fraud. That's another area where a lot of deep learning and similar kind of algorithms or models are being used for detection the fraud in the channel transactions, like our own ATMs or like UPI transactions or mobile banking transactions. So there are certain anomaly detection, and these kind of methods are getting used for getting the right I'll say identification of fraud. Similar work is in early warning systems. So there are, but in terms of every place, the point is the technology offer the opportunity. The point here is like we have to understand that what is the right set of technology for that particular use case. Customer servicing, again, KYC and all, many use cases like verification of videos, like when we are doing video KYC and all. So the liveliness check, there are a lot of information which need to be processed securely on fly. So that's the area where the technology is being used. Now I'll coming back, because when one side, the lot of excitement about the technology, a lot of promises from the technology. We have seen the potential also in the technology. Other side is, which is very important, is to understand the guardrail, caution, and not many things which naturally comes with the technology. So artificial intelligence, a lot of things depend on the foundational capabilities. So when we start this, you have necessary foundation like data. So data, the availability of the digital data in right form with the right quality is very, very important, because whatever we'll get, the output, the quality of output depends on the input data. So fundamentally, these are the softer and very important aspects, I say, for any successful AI implementation. Another point is like, which is a common concern when we do a lot of processing for the cross sell, upsell, and all those things, like anonymity and how to manage the customer data and customer data privacy protection and similar concern. So there should be right framework, right kind of method should be implemented. Otherwise, we'll start something, but things will not scale, because if the foundation is not correct, the scalability will become challenge. So any big use cases, what we are doing in industry is also taking care of these parts, like very, very important aspects of data. Another is like models, whatever artificial intelligence we're talking, there are a lot of inherent challenges, like related to biases, related to explainability of these models. These are the general concerns. So obviously, those all things also very, very important when we are doing the large scale AI implementation, to understand that, because if that is not right, we'll not get the right sort of comfort and the right kind of instrument to use this technology in a mainstream, particularly for very, very large size. So these are the few points, and obviously there are, because this is a evolving space and everybody is learning, so be the regulator, or be an ecosystem. So everybody is learning. So day by day, a lot of advancements are happening in this area. A lot of guardrails are being discussed. A lot of frameworks are being evolved in this area just to see these models can be validated on a regular basis. So these kind of things are happening in ecosystem, and that is how it is important. Now, coming back to from the banking experience and from the accounting profession and all those areas. So that's the area, because I think all of us might have tried this GPT and these kind of stuff, which offer a lot of, I'll say, productivity gains. There are promises like we can work on certain tasks, obviously, but a co-pilot or similar kind of product can help us in doing a lot of smart work. The point is, like, if I am analyzing a balance sheet, or can I ask certain questions so that I can get meaningful insight out of that, rather than I am going back and seeing the entire balance sheet for years and years and then manually driving certain patterns. So these kind of things we all were doing earlier. We have developed our own tools, our own ways of working efficiently on this, but the generative AI and these kind of technology offer a lot of I'll say promises in that area. These kind of tasks can be very well automated. The point here is, like, I'll simply, without knowing any formula, or I'll without knowing any complex query processing and all those things, I can simply ask machine and I can get that information quickly. So we can query to data in very simple English. So these kind of opportunities are there, and that open up a lot of use cases, right from analysis to forecasting to verifying the audit data, seeing the data pattern. So a lot of areas, and obviously when we'll come to implementation, there are a set of technology which help us implementing in this. So with overall, in nutshell, I'll say this is the right time and exciting time, but and we all should know about it because it's the right time to do this particular thing. What is the artificial intelligence, and particularly how it is impacting my company, my own profession, and all those things. And we have to think in a way like it will always, the way it is evolving. It is I'll say human in a loop kind of model, or I'll say a co-pilot kind of model, where artificial intelligence is offering some sort of human aid, some sort of assistant to us for being more productive, for being more profitable. So that is what I want to say, and wish you all the best. It's I'll say exciting technology, but we have to use it with a right guardrails and caution. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saurabh Shukla, Head AI Innovations and CEOs Bank of Baroda. Yes, perhaps banking sector and the insurance sector is one of the sectors who has been drastically affected, or rather, who has taken the advantage of AI and computing and technology, and they have adopted it very quickly. We have our second speaker now. He would speak on harnessing AI for superior accounting and cost management. He is Mr. CMA Vijay Kiran Agastya. He is ex-Deloitte Vice President and founder, Mentor Me Career Intelligence and Training. We welcome you, sir. I'll just present before you his brief profile. CMA Agastya is a dynamic and accomplished professional, excelling in the role of mainly entrepreneurship. Presently, he was ex-vice president. He was vice president and founder of Mentor M Career Intelligence and Training. His passion for teaching and training spans over 2 decades, during which he has conducted numerous employability courses, delivered more than 500 guest lectures across various academic institutions. CMA Vijay Kiran's corporate tenure includes high-impact managerial leadership roles at esteemed companies such as Deloitte, Genpact, Indian Immunologicals Limited, culminating his role as the distinguished multifaceted career marked by significant achievements in corporate leadership and entrepreneurship. We welcome you, sir. Kindly unmute yourself and address our gathering both in physical and online mode.
Sir, I
Over
request
to
you,
you.
Vijay sir, it is audible for us.
Thank you, sir. Can you confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay. I'll also try to share my screen, madam. Just let me know if you're able to see. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Please go ahead,
fantastic.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, dear members. Good evening to Atanu Sinha ji, our president, Dalwadi ji, MK Anand ji, Neeraj bhai, Chittaranjan Dada, KCH Aviation Murthy ji, Avijit Goswami ji, and I have seen online the technology man of our institute, TCA Srinivas Prasad ji. Thank you, Neeraj bhai, for the opportunity to talk to members. Saurabh ji has covered a lot of interesting aspects of technology use cases. While our president was speaking, I added a couple of slides. So let's see. So this is what I have in content, not necessarily on agenda. We have little time, so let's see what are the aspects that we can cover. Maybe a cursory look at a tool or two, some capabilities of the tools. So before I begin, this is an interesting picture that I added while President Sir was talking. It reminds me, it's called the psychology of people with respect to technology, right? So if you look at this image, the fastest man recorded in terms of running on this planet is Usain Bolt. If you compare Usain Bolt's ability to run to the animals that are shown on the image, cat is running faster than him, dog, even ostrich is running faster than him, and many other animals are also running faster than him. In the 1970s, there was a study made how fast is human being as compared to various animals, birds, reptiles, all the other possibilities. And what was figured is that 75% of animals on the planet were faster than human being. There are only 25% that are slower than human, right? So when we think about it, we are not the fastest, right? I want you also to imagine, the strongest man on the planet when he gets into let's say, a forest. However strong he is, he is nothing when compared to, a large animal like elephant or a ferocious animal like tiger, right? So what, this 1970 study has also done is that they have given man bicycle and then they asked him to, run the same distance. From being, in the bottom 25%, man moved to the top 20% once he had the bicycle. So the lesson that we learned here is that, our capabilities are not physical capabilities. Man's capabilities, men and women capabilities are in developing tools and implementing those tools, right? If at all, if ever we feel that technology is becoming a competition to us, or if ever we believe that technology is becoming a challenge, a hindrance, or whatever, it's as good as we are insulting humans' capabilities as compared to other animals. So we should be proud that as a race, we are able to bring in so much of technology and innovation onto the planet. President G was talking about, or I think it was the guest of honor who was talking about. Sometimes it is very difficult to imagine what is coming up, right? I think we need to stay closer to technology to be able to understand that. This is an image from a 1958 movie, more popular in the southern states than the other part of the country. In 1958, in a movie, they show that the heroine and the hero interact with each other through an object, right? And they can see each other. It's nothing but a scenario of video calling that we have today. But somebody has imagined this in 1958. Again, I'm not saying that everything that we imagine would become a reality, right? All science fiction would not become reality. But for us to understand the capabilities of technologies, I think we need to have that ability to imagine and understand very closely what capabilities we have today and where it can take us, right? Uh, I'll quickly go into the topic. I think the previous speaker also talked about it. Simple definition of artificial intelligence. Machines, demonstrate intelligence typically, which is the nature of humans and animals. So machines start demonstrating those capabilities by learning as well as by problem solving. Therefore we call it artificial intelligence. Most times, especially when we talk about, analytics or stuff like that, there is an assumption that we all are involved in analysis, financial analysis or non-financial analysis, and analytics is sort of an extension to it. I think we need to understand that there is a lot of difference between the typical analysis that we are involved and analytics. And then now we are talking about AI, right? If you look at what AI draws information or inspiration from, there are many aspects. There's statistics, there's computer science, programming, coding, if you will, there's psychology, some of the stuff that we see on a day-to-day basis. So for example, all of us are on Facebook or Instagram right now. Each one of us get different types of advertisements. We all don't get the same advertisement. That's because the machine is learning the psychology of this particular customer, and accordingly it is showing up what are the ads that are relevant. So there's psychology in it, there's biology, medicine, engineering in it. So there are many aspects of it, but the top three ones are very key. There's involvement of statistics, there's computer science, that's programming, there is psychology. So if we are really passionate about that, I think AI is AI is a full-time profession or career for us. Otherwise, we are more a user, try to get the best out of AI tools that are available, or try to get the best out of building customized AI tools for our own enterprises. I'm sure most of us are aware of or accessing ChatGPT, naturally the most popular generative AI tool in the market. But there are others like Bing Chat, Claude, and Google Bard that are also accessible. One of my favorite these days is Perplexity. I'm repeating the name Perplexity. If you would like to explore, that is an interesting tool as well. Now, we'll dive into what can AI help us with respect to accounting. Again, I'll try to draw some examples from banking because they are very popular and known to some of us. And then I'll also try to see some comparison, especially as it comes to risk management. I think the previous speakers also talked about a couple of areas in which AI is used, right? Automation and predictive analytics. The third important aspect is risk management. I think the previous speaker said it, fraud and risk management is also an area. So diving in, so few areas in accounting, automation of data entry, especially, when data is in a document form, right? I think the chief guest, the guest of honor also talked about it, using an optical character recognition to extract data from physical document and then, processing whatever information we would like. A number of companies are already using this in accounts payable processes. They use an OCR, which will auto-populate fields into the ERP systems that the company uses. All the resource typically does is cross-check if the information is accurate, and then on a click of a button, the invoice posting automatically happens. I'll try and show you one or two examples of how OCR capabilities are available today, or one or two of the tools that you could explore further. In terms of reconciliation, also, I think that one of the previous speakers also talked about cash reconciliations. Trust me, not just one, any form of reconciliation of the balance sheet accounts, bank all the way up to any other balance sheet account. There are extraordinary tools, that have the capability of performing automatic reconciliation. We don't have any longer the need for tick and tie. Again, I'm spelling out a couple of tools. My favorite is Blackline, although it's expensive. If you are dealing with a large enterprise, I think Blackline is the best tool, not only from a reconciliation standpoint, but also will be able to do the closing and reporting process very effectively. Another tool that I got exposed to is Zero XCRO. That also has good capabilities. Here I'll switch away from the PowerPoint and show you one or two tools or examples where data reading is happening effectively today. The first one, again, somebody please confirm if you're able to see my screen. Now I switched from PowerPoint.
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Very much.
Thank you for the confirmation, madam.
But
So
the screen font is very small, sir.
yeah, don't worry about that, sir. I'm just
Can't be-
showing one tool. Yeah, I'm just showing one tool. Just try to remember the name of the tool and then you can sit down and explore it a little bit. So this is called the Document AI. This is one of Google's tools. I am just jumping into another window. It will ask you when you go to Document AI on Google. So this is what it will take you to. It's called Cloud Document AI. And then, so let me go to the next screen. So here, if you see, there is something called Manage or Try this API. It will take us to this third screen. I just opened the screens ahead of time with the fear that internet is never predictable. So you will see that there is something called a processor gallery. Again, I'm repeating, Document AI of Google. It will have a processor gallery. This processor gallery has a number of parsing tools. Parsing tools basically means they pick up a document, make slices and dices of the information on the document and convert it to a readable, text, or convert it into text that is more useful for us in terms of, analysis, reporting, or whatever. So here you will see a number of these. We can get a free trial. You can use document OCR. Form parsers are there, invoice parsers are there, so you can just create your own processor and see how it works, right? Several other example, pay slips, procurements. Again, like I said, the idea is to give you a cursory look and then you can explore. One more simple example is our very own ChatGPT. Earlier, there was no capability for us to add a document on ChatGPT, right? Now it has this capability. Let's see what is its ability to read. I have a small document. This is an image. This is an image, simple image. There's some ages and salary numbers on the document. This is an image, not even a PDF. This is a JPEG, right? Now I go to ChatGPT, bring up this image. Okay, so the image is now uploaded. While it's uploading, I'll ask ChatGPT. So I know that there is salary data and some age data. So I'll ask ChatGPT to perform some statistical function, right? Predict the salary for ages 50 to 55. May not be relevant analysis, but I'm just trying to tell you what is the capability, right? Predict the salary for ages 50 to 55 using linear, let's say linear regression from the data. So what it does, it's not only reading the image, converting the image into data, and then it's also performing certain simple analysis, that I'm asking it to do. And I said it, I've asked it to do some simple analysis, but we can do, a lot more than that, even on ChatGPT. So maybe a minute or two, and we should see, because it's an image, it's taking a little longer. Usually we all know ChatGPT's capability of running things faster. There you go. It's actually giving me a linear progression chart, and then it is telling me using this data, typically this averages will result in this salary range between the ages of 50 to 55. Can you imagine? Just an image has been presented to it, not text, and it is able to not only read the document, convert the document, parse the document. The right word is parse the document, and then it's also providing me some analysis. And this is not, an enterprise level AI tool, right? This is a simple, generative AI that all of us have access today. So that's the level of document reading capability that tools present today in the market. And there are many more. I'm just showcasing one or two of them here. So I'll spend a few more minutes on some more use cases, and I think then I'll turn it back to the organizers. So fraud detection, I think previous speaker also talked about some of the banking examples. So I just put up the banking examples and some accounting examples next to each other. Banking, I'm sure you must have heard of this. Credit card fraud, whenever somebody makes a high value transaction, suddenly in a particular account, usual range is, let's say, 5,000 to 10,000, and then a 1 lakh worth transaction taken place. I am sure most of you are starting to get a call from the bank. Is this you who made this transaction? Or you get an SMS, or you get some kind of alert. So this flagging system happens through AI. What AI is doing is it is reading the previous, that's why it's called machine learning, right? It's learning, the machine is learning what are our previous transactions and then flagging out when it is not in line with the previous transaction. Every flag is not a red, result, but it has to flag and then, decide whether it is the right transaction or not. Similarly, we see location-based anomalies. Half an hour ago, I swiped a card in, let's say, Mumbai, and now I am swiping the card again in Delhi. So the system is saying this is not a possibility, red flag, right? Unusual login patterns. I use multiple different systems. Suspicious fund transfers, abnormal UPI transactions. Usually I make 2 to 3 in a day. In one particular day, I made 10. All these red flags, and there are many more examples. All these red flags come up through the AI systems that are in place. I think previous speakers said it absolutely right. Some banks are at a different level of capability in terms of, using AI for risk management. Some banks may not be at the same level, but, large banks have implemented good AI systems into their risk management. In terms of accounting, I'm not talking about similar processes, but similar capabilities that can be leveraged, AI capabilities that they can be leveraged. Invoice frauds in certain organizations, right? Duplicate invoices get processed. So AI typically looks at certain fields in the data, right? Invoice number, amount, who is the vendor, what type of transaction against what PO, and anything seems to be off, it kind of gives a red flag. Fake suppliers, payroll frauds, very popular, are having ghost employees. Again, it looks at, is he the same person with a different name but the same bank account, or same person with two different bank accounts, that sort of thing. Overtime claims, expense frauds, early revenue recognition. If you're an auditor, I think, it's a very good opportunity to look at how revenue is getting recognized through the AI system. Procurement frauds. This is split purchase is an interesting thing. So sometimes when there is an approval for a certain threshold limit, employees tend to buy in smaller, values, so not to hit the threshold and make multiple transactions. We can design AI such that it can consolidate all of these and still say you're exceeding the limit, right? It can still give a red flag to the appropriate authority in the organization. So these are some use cases within fraud detection. I guess I'm on the top of the hour, so I'll try to cover 2 to 3 minutes, a few things, and then turn it back to the organizers. In terms of cost management, Power BI has gained significant popularity across the world, especially in India. It used to be considered just a visualization tool for us to analyze data better. Most of us in costing, financial planning, we have a lot of analysis requirements. Now Power BI has an additional AI feature Once your data goes in, it not only provides you a visualization, but you can ask it some questions. Can you tell me how much my revenue has gone up by what percentage? Can you tell me in this region what it is like? And looking at the same data, it is able to give you certain answers. I think our guest of honor talked about it. It's called large data based machining intelligence, right? LLM he called it. So there are a couple of other examples also again for us to explore. Nplan, very useful if you are project based environment like software. IBM Tririga, if you're using facility management, hotel industry, that sort of thing, there is some good capabilities that it brings. But in general, Power BI, along with its AI capabilities, is doing a wonderful job today. I'm not going to go through all of these, different capabilities in budgeting, forecasting, finance. The minute we talk about finance, things like trading and investment comes up, banking comes up, risk and management comes up. So it opens up many more opportunities. Customer service, I think some of the other speakers also talked about it. There are a lot of good chatbots that can be used. Again, feeding in a lot of information to be able to generate good, Q&A. I'm not going to go through all of this. Some future trends, natural language processing is picking up where document analysis is happening. Non-English language processing also is, taking place with a significant, developments. Predictive analytics, a lot of progress has been made. So last couple of tools, and then turn it back to the organizers. Two tools that accountants can really explore. RapidMiner, very good for predictive analytics. We have seen several speakers talk about predictive analytics, and then H2O.ai, very good tool if you're making predictive analytics, particularly in finance and accounting domain. So I know I had to rush with a little time. I hope I was able to showcase some things and share some insights with you. Thank you for listening. I will turn it back to the organizers now.
Thank you, sir. It has been so informative for all of us. All our participants had been listening to you so carefully, and definitely they have taken inputs out of it. May I now request our council member, CMA Murthy sir, to deliver the vote of thanks for technical one, after which we will go for a short IT break, and then we will start with technical two.
This meeting is conducted achieved by participation of these two speakers today. Congratulations to Neeraj ji. On my personal behalf and on behalf of this committee today, I first thank Sri Saurabh Suklaji, who has dwelt upon banking transactions, frauds, NPA, how AI is detecting them and helping them. In fact, many MPS have come down in many banks thanks to AI. Similarly, Mr. Vijay Kiran of Hyderabad, he has also told about banking, transactions, accounting, and revenue recognition methods with the help of AI, and also the useful tools also has given some examples. And how does it help the CMA budgeting, forecasting, and trends, everything. To supplement with Vijay Kiran, he has shown a box, a good old Telugu movie with a box. The name of the box is called Priyadarshini. You will see what you only like. That the advantage of the box is suppose if you don't like me, you will not find me. You like only Neeraj is there. That is the advantage of the box there. That is, see how 1958 they thought so accurately about the future. Now, in my own words, dear friends, AI is most dangerous. AI is most wonderful. Two things are there. In one single word, when we go to any function or any marriage, any function, the welcome drink what they give us is lemon artificial. They give us artificial drink to welcome us. When we eat belly fully and wash our hands, they will give us original lemon to wash our hands. This is exactly artificial intelligence. The original lemon is cost accountant. Artificial is always artificial. It cannot be, it cannot displace, misplace, out of place our CMA. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir. We will now break for 5 to 6 minutes. Only I know it's very short, but after the high tea, we will come back. Please join us after that.
Check.
Hello and welcome back. We have come back after the break. Now we will start off with technical session, the second technical session, where we will be having an interview of the experts in the field of artificial intelligence. Let me get the privilege to introduce our respected panelists and the first I will introduce them and first I will call them on the dais, then I will start introducing them. May I request CMA Rishikesh Shrotriyaji, Senior Consultant and Subject Matter Expert for the Financial Transformation in Treasury, Cash and Fund Management to kindly come on dais. Please, sir. I now request Ms. Aruna Singh, our Director Finance of Microsoft. Ma'am, please come on dais. I request Dr. Rahi Walambe, Artificial Intelligence Researcher, Symbiosis. Ma'am, please. Thank you. I request CMA Ashutosh Saitwalji, Founder, CEO, ClearStack, to please come on dais. I request CMA Subhashish Chakraborty, Vice Chairman, Eastern Region Council and a Management Consultant to join the team on the dais. Please take your seat, sir and ma'am. I'm privileged and honored to introduce our respected dignitaries. CMA Rishikesh Shrotriyaji has been experienced SAP strategy and business consultant at Accenture, IBM. Skilled professional with 13 years of experience in the management consulting and change management. He has proven skill in transformation, revitalizing strategies using available systems and modern approaches, specializes in SAP treasury, financial supply chain management. He's a talented senior consultant who has been involved with developing staff, policies, and processes for enhanced business operations. He is a treasury and risk, fund and budgeting and finance transformation management and consultant too. I now take the privilege to introduce the Director Finance, Microsoft, CA Aruna Singh, Madam. 25 years of highly successful finance career in top multinationals, leading large finance teams for driving growth and transformation, comprehensive experience in leading finance functions for large multinationals. She has hands-on experience in financial planning, analysis function, technology, retail platforms across India. She has comprehensive experience in financial audits, including statutory and tax audits, internal control, assessment and system reviews, and a proven track record for building and leading big teams and Six Sigma trained Green Belt certification. I now take the privilege to introduce our Dr. Rahi Walambe ma'am. She is our committee member for the artificial intelligence of the Institute. She has an experience of robotics and applied AI researcher. She is a PhD from Lancaster University, London, and she has been experienced with research work at Symbiosis Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence and an associate professor at SIT Pune. She has had experience of teaching and research in bilateral research schemes in the area of AI for drone technology. Recently, she has also received the research grant for the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, to work on AI-based cognitive behavioral analysis. We welcome you, ma'am. I take the privilege to introduce CMA Ashutosh Saitwalji. He is the founder and CEO of ClearStack. He is an award-winning document on intelligence and auditing AI platform person. He has over 30 years of experience in both large enterprises, startups, and environments. Prior to starting ClearStack, he has globally led cross-functional teams in business units up to $150 million at an organization like Symantec, Zeded Associates, Blindview, and Ideas. We welcome you, sir. I now take the privilege to introduce our fellow members CMA Subhash Chakraborty ji, Vice Chairman, Eastern Region Council, and a management consultant of repute with so much experience in the field of artificial intelligence and technology. We welcome you, sir. Thank you for coming. May I now request our Chairman CMA Neeraj sir to kindly felicitate CMA Rushikesh Shrotia ji, the interviewer of this panel. Felicitation of CMA Rishikesh Shrotia ji. Thank you so much, sir. May I now request CMA Murthy sir, Council Member, to please felicitate Ms. Aruna Singh, Madam, Director Finance, Microsoft. We are honored to note your presence here, ma'am. Felicitation of Aruna Singh, Madam, Director Finance, Microsoft. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Madam, for coming and joining us. We have about 200 participants across the world watching us, online participants, and the program has been telecast. On dais and welcome Dr. Rahi Walambe ma'am, AI researcher, Symbiosis Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence. Such knowledgeable experts on the dais. It's our privilege, and we are sure our members will definitely benefit out of this seminar. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us at this seminar. We welcome you. May I now request CMA Navneet sir, Council Member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, to felicitate CMA Ashutosh Saitwalji, Founder and Chief Executive Officer, ClearStack Artificial Intelligence. We are honored to have you here. The participants are eagerly waiting for the interview. Sure, they will definitely benefit from this seminar. We welcome you, sir. Thank you so much. We will request Navneet sir to also felicitate CMA Subhashish Chakraborty sir, Eastern Regional Council Member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. We request Agarwal sir also to join us in the felicitation. Please. Mr. Chakraborty sir has been having a management consulting experience of so many years. He is also one of the panel members to be interviewed. Such an honor that Navneet sir is around. We thank CMA Navneet sir and CMA Shubhas sir. Thank you so much. We welcome you, sir. I request the panel members and the interviewer to kindly go ahead with the interview, and the dais is open for interview. Thank you so much.
Check. Check. Yeah. I hope I'm audible. Welcome once again, everyone, my fellow colleagues at the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, my panel members, for this excellent opportunity to talk about artificial intelligence and its AGs and impact on finance, as well as impact on what is the future of finance when we think about AI being one of the partner component of our success or of our work for future. So I thank ICWA Institute for providing this platform through this seminar, which is purely focused on what do we see from the view of the panel members that we have today. So I'm your host, CMA Rishikesh, and let the game begin. So I had the first question or first thought that my child shared today when I started from my home was, and I will read that thing for you, is he mentioned if you are going for the program which talks about artificial intelligence, he asked me if that's real. And quite honestly, I had no specific great answer to it, and I've promised him that with the help of my panel members here today, I'm going to give him an answer whether it's artificial or whether it's real. That's the question for all the panel members. While I say, uh, I hope he's online, must be in his school or on his football ground. But yeah, so for you, I'm going to find out answers today. Promise. So starting from that point, I understand the time that we have and the responsibilities of my fellow panel members is to find out whether artificial intelligence is artificial or it's real. In my opinion, to start with, it's actually real. And let me start with the first icebreaker question to everyone is, if I have to ask each one of you is to introduce yourself, and also if you have to appoint everyone an artificial intelligent assistant, what will be the name of that artificial intelligent assistant for you? We all like having an assistant who would help us to do tasks, and we know machine learning, robotics, process automation, and many other jargons, they help us to do our work better. So I will first start with Miss Aruna ma'am. What would be your artificial intelligent assistant? If you can introduce name of that and what function that bot or your assistant would do, and then we'll move to the next panel.
Yeah, this was the most difficult question for me. I can speak about as a practitioner how I'm using artificial intelligence, but this was a tough one for me. But as I was kind of coming from Gurgaon, so that allowed me to kind of think about it. So what I would name it is Veera. Veera, it means virtual assistant. Yeah, virtual robotic assistant or whatever you can say. And and the because we are finance professionals and the personality I would want that virtual assistant to help me is how they can be really professional, precise, analytical, and not most of it enable the business, support and be collaborative with the business is what I would say.
Thank you, Aruna, for that interesting name, Veera. Uh, now let's go to Professor Rahi. She will have multiple tasks, someone to write her thesis paper. She's a researcher, which I know. She would want somebody to go and lecture the students when she's not in the college, probably. But yeah, these are two items that I could imagine using artificial intelligence. What's your answer? What's the name of that assistant and what it would do for you?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So CMA Rishikesh, actually, you asked two questions. First was introduction, which was already given by Pradipta sir. But I would like to add one sentence to it, which is I feel like I'm out of place because I think I'm the only engineer in this gathering, and I'm the only one who don't have any like knowledge as much as you people are in terms of finance. But I'm very happy to be here. About the second question, I'll name it Medhavi. Because Medha in Sanskrit is intelligence, and whatever I have studied so far since my days of doing a PhD, intelligence can come in different ways. It is it is not just natural or artificial. It has different layers, and we all know nowadays there is social intelligence, there is emotional intelligence, there are a lot of different types of intelligence. So I would like the assistant to have at least some capability in all these aspects. And why this name? Of course, it has this meaning, but that's also a name of my daughter.
Oh, lovely. Now the question to someone who is an entrepreneur. I'm sure he has around 10 assistant or secretaries in his life, which do multiple tasks, is what we say in the artificial intelligence or technology platform. Sir, tell us what's that? You already have created one assistant for your customers, which is your own organization. But what would you name an assistant who would help you and what it would do for you?
So a little bit about myself in addition to what I was introduced for. Like I'm a qualified CMA, but at the same time, for last 30 years or so, I am not practicing in accounting. I am practicing software engineering and got introduced to AI 20 years back. And I come from a family where we eat, sleep artificial intelligence daily because uh, my younger brother happens also to be a AI scientist, has 65 plus patents in his name. So I have an inspiration in my younger brother. I am looking up to him always in this regard. But coming to your questions, the name I will give my AI assistant will be Tosh.
Tosh.
Because that's short form of my name, Ashutosh, which actually, by the way, I'm not a narcissist, but this is the name that my mother used to call me by when I was little. And she's no more. But I want this artificial intelligence bot to actually remind me always about my mother, how she used to encourage me and sometimes forcefully persuade me to push my boundaries. I think that's what I would like my assistant to do.
Interesting. Yeah. AI getting connected to reminding yourself, you with your mother. I mean, that's a interesting, or it's a very novel thought. Thank you, Ashutosh. Then we will go to CMA Subhashish Da. You are 30 plus years experienced on being a CMA, plus you have done not only income tax but also GST. I believe I remember those days when we used to believe in our notes to get reminded with the sections of income tax and GST. You not only work on the taxation part, but currently you are a throughout AI practitioner, and also you coach your organizations on business intelligence. What assistant you would look at who should probably not take your job and still survive with you being your help? What is the name and what it would do?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you as well. I'd like to have two names. One, since I'm coming from consultancy background, So I'd like to have a consultant GPT, right? So it will help consulting to everybody, starting from the income tax, GST. So satellite to the elephant, whatever you consultancy you want, it will give you that. Another thing is that I'm coming from a country where the heritage is huge. So I'd like to have सारे जहाँ से अच्छा ये हिंदुस्तान हमारा. So I'd like to have heritagegpt.com. Thank you.
We have diverse answer, and while I understand that there are 200 players who are part of this online section that we have organized, if you can chat on Teams, why don't you provide the names that comes to your mind as an artificial intelligent assistant that you would love, if the organizers can please help them to chat and not have a voice around. But yeah, we would like to know those names. Probably we won't be able to cover those names, because they will be many. But yeah, that's the request for all the online participants if you want to give the names. Uh, the second part, so probably we are coming close to the objective that I started with, whether it's artificial or whether it's real. But I see it's becoming more and more real now. Another thing that yesterday that we discussed in my home, which my mother, after understanding ML and artificial intelligence, she mentioned to my son that his name is Rajveer. So she said, Rajveer, you have to become a better student than machine learning. And that stuck me. I said, why do you think like that? Or probably I thought that machine learning, she has understood better than I do. Of course, she was a teacher, so she will one day, and she has. But yeah, today is the day when machine learning has become a better student than us. And that is something that probably to start with is that concerns me. But I also want to understand from the panelists today, how do we become better version of ourselves which allow us to be better than the machine learning capabilities? I know it's a difficult question to answer, but that's the thought that if you can ponder on as panelists during the discussions and all the comments that you provide. While we discuss that, uh, I did a bad job of explaining at home and in my colleagues of what artificial intelligence is capable of. But if you can take 30 seconds, each panelist, and explain artificial intelligence to a 95-year-old grandmother, how would you explain that? We'll take 30 seconds straight from Aruna. How would you explain this?
So I think the thing which I would tell my grandmother. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
So I think what I would tell my grandmother is that that here is a smart helper who would help you in finding out what is the best thing to do for you, and it will learn as it goes through the process, because that's what it does, and it will give you much more better service as we go forward. It's like your assistant. You can ask anything, and you can get any response, and it will learn on its own.
Thank you, Ms. Aruna. I will now go to Subhashish Da on understanding what would you explain to my grandmother, 85-year-old, what is artificial intelligence in 30
As
seconds.
similar as, I'll explain it as a very smart. It can learn, it can help you to do. But one thing is that it doesn't have the emotion. It cannot cry, it cannot love, it cannot love. This is what the thing is, that artificial intelligence is that. This is what Shura, you will tell it to your son that yes, it is real, because everybody was clapping, everybody was laughing, the emotion was there. So it was not artificial, it was real in sense.
You, CMA Ashutosh, how would you explain it? Probably, and this is a question from a perspective of, if you have to explain it to a 8-year-old kid, how would you explain it in your own version?
So I'll say artificial intelligence is something that enables you to make machines understand you and also perform the tasks that you would like it to perform, like you would want a other human being to perform. So that's how I would try and explain.
Thank you. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I on purpose gave this question last to Professor and Dr. Rahi. Reason being, she will be expert in explaining it to the kids or probably the college students. But the problem is 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Time
So,
starts now.
so for 8-year-old or for 95-year-old?
95-year-old grandmother.
Okay, so I'll probably explain it in the context of the disease or some sort of health disorder that she has, because I think that she can understand it better in that way. So, for example, if she has, and this has happened actually with my grandmother, who was 94-year-old, and she had a heart element, and I was trying to explain to her that she had to wait for a long duration to go to the doctor, and even after getting the appointment in the hospital, she was waiting for quite some time. So she was obviously cribbing about it. And I told her that, if you had AI, you wouldn't have to wait so long. Probably there is a assistive tool which can help the doctor to quickly screen you. And I told her that, your X-ray that we have just taken, if we send it to this particular computer program, it will give us the answer whether you have some problem or not. And then the doctor can very quickly give us the treatment. And then I think she understood it quite well, because when I say helper or assistant, it is okay for people who are like us, because we use all these assistive tools and we can appreciate the use of AI as a helper. But for somebody who has no experience of using technology, this could be one of the ways to explain it.
Very nice. On point, on point. Well, the reason why this question was put forward was to lighten up the mood. We had very good interactive or on point sessions before. Now, I will take this opportunity to declare that all of us know at least a little about artificial intelligence, and nobody who is here, as well as nobody who is online, can say that we are novice on it. We are slightly becoming expert, and artificial intelligence is becoming real. Now, to the main part of the sessions that I've been holding on was we'll start with CMA Subhashish Da, is about who currently operate as cost and management accountants. We look at numbers, we look at manufacturing organizations, we look at service organizations and consult them on various different elements, right from strategy to a normal operative compliance practice. Artificial intelligence, what is, according to you, its future role that it will transform the role of management accountants, all of us together, finance professionals, into what for next 5 and 10 years? And while you answer that, you can also help us what tasks, processes which we can rely on artificial intelligence and what will still remain, I would call human. Subhashista.
Again and again, the first question to me is very, in my opinion, I think that what the first thing the CMA has to do is that they have to remove the fear of artificial intelligence from their mind, that you won't take away your job, it won't squeeze your professional avenues. Even if you train yourself with these techniques, capabilities and tools, it will take you to the next level of trajectory of your professional career, so that you can deliver your professional marvels. So I believe the next 10 to 15 years, they have to train themselves, and you just forget about these some few jobs that will not be there in the professional domain. That is what is that? Accounting, the data entry, the conciliation, the financial forecasting, budgeting, and obviously the compliance, and it is auditing and compliance. The artificial intelligence will find out the compliance date and remind you whether you have sent the the reports or you have submitted your accounts to the respective departments or not. Obviously, it will take a lot of time and lot of things for this risk management, expenditure management, and it will also take so many jobs. In the case of, it will be used rather in the case of customer relation, vendor selection, and strategic management. Then what you will do, you will definitely, your job system will be changed. You will take part in decision making. Lot of decision making you have to do. You have to deliver. You have to take part in strategic management as well. So nothing to be worried or frightened as well. You go ahead, just you teach yourself, train yourself, and so that it will help, it will become a helpful tool for you. And what else? What was the second question for you?
How a management accountant will keep the human factor of our current work, and how it will, what it will hand over to the artificial intelligence.
Yes, obviously, a repetitive job will be done by the AI because AI needs a huge data set. So you have to build the data set. We have to train them. So repetitive job can be handed over to the artificial intelligence because you know the voucher checking. Once you're going for this cost audit or whatever it audit, suppose you're 10 lakh vouchers. How many vouchers you're checking? Are you checking the 10 lakh vouchers? No. So in the case of AI, it will check every vouchers, every lines, every items. So it will find the design, the pattern. So any drop of that design and pattern, they will remind you there is aberration. This is what the artificial intelligence will deliver. This is the equipment you will take benefit out of it. You can remember I started my career sometimes in 1992. At that time, computer was not there. In Kolkata, you cannot even think some of our friends, they sat in front of one of the multinational corporation bank that the computer cannot be allowed to enter in the bank. It will take away the job. Is it true today? No. A lot of people are working with computers. Then the ERP came. Then what is happening out there? So, AI will not take away your job. It will train you. You just train yourself. You'll train your own data. So it will deliver. And I'm always telling to my student and all that you download the whatever the Chat GPT, Claude, Gemini, everything is telling. You just refurbish it, then you submit it to your client and employer as well. That is much. It is up to you how much you will live with this artificial intelligence. One question I'll just ask to you is that how many of you are really interested to see a robot doctor? It will reduce your diagnosis time, but are you going to take the injection out of prescription of that robot? No. So you'll take the advantage of the human doctors. This is what is the cobot, the collaboration between the human and the robot, the artificial intelligence. That is up to you what you will deliver in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Subhashista. Well, I can proudly say that CMA still have the role of doctors from the financial consulting perspective, and that job is secured after opinion of Subhashista. Well, it makes artificial intelligence, although real, but the real work it still remains with the professionals in finance. So with that understanding, you had a question.
I will give 6 classic examples right now, immediately, right now. AI is a gold mine, and you are a goldsmith. You mean CMA. AI is a forest. You are a carpenter. You mean CMA. AI is a flower pot. You make mala. You make. AI is a kitchen with stores, but you are a good cook. Don't mistake me. AI is the milk. In olden days, we are assuming that milk with water will be separated by Rajhamsa only. Do you know that story?
No.
Rajhamsa is a batu, duck. Rajhamsa, it is only it only splits the water into milk.
Milk and water. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, Rajhamsa we call in Telugu. So if milk is given to a cost accountant, milk is AI, Rajamsa is same here. That's all.
Understand. Yeah, that's well synthesized by sir. Uh, while we understand now where our role is secured, what comes to my mind is we have to make that role secure and do something to be in that secured position tomorrow. Something that easily comes to my mind as a example is I mean, at least the generation of people that I see around is we all have grown up to the geared vehicles, wherein the gear movement in the vehicle used to be manual. Today, most of us operate automatic vehicles, but we have learned it that there is no third pedal in the car, and at times it scares us that there is third pedal is missing in the car when we switch from a manual to a automatic vehicle. That reminds me that when I have to become a better cost accountant, and the question to Dr. Rahi is, being a professor, being a researcher in this area, what are the top three things that my fellow cost accountant, finance professionals should have in their own skill sets, which will allow them to be one of the finest cost accountants or finance professionals for future? What are those top three skill sets that you would recommend to us?
Right. So uh, there's this really nice quote that I have read, and it says that AI is not going to take your jobs. A person who knows AI is going to take your jobs. And that is true for every profession, starting from healthcare. So every time we work with doctors, there are a lot of work that I do in healthcare where we use AI as an assistive tool. And every time there is always at the beginning there is always a lot of resistance in terms of we don't want to use AI, it's going to take our jobs, it's going to replace us. And exactly what all of us, all of you experts are saying, that is true. However, being a teacher, I like to break down things into actual tangible things rather than saying that we should learn and we should study and all that. Um, there are multiple skills that one has to learn. There are multiple tools, as we have seen, we have discussed, the previous speakers have also told. But in order for anyone to actually know how to use these tools, using the tools is easy. But customizing those tools for your applications, you need to know a little bit of AI. That is for sure. So top three skills is first is of course data. And I'm sure every one of you feels that they have a lot of data. Many times it is unstructured in nature. It is impossible to work with that data. So the first thing always is data engineering, and it involves quality of the data, pre-processing of the data, and removing the noisy data, whatever that you don't really need to process your application or your task. So that is, I think, the first step, data engineering. There are a lot of visualization tools. There are a lot of different exploratory data analysis tools which can be used for this purpose, and they are all free. So Microsoft BI, some version of it is free. Then there is Tableau, which is also free. Python has all different libraries which are free. The second tool is, of course, the fundamentals of AI. One, I do believe that one doesn't have to go to a stage where they have to learn deep learning or extensions of AI. Whereas a basic AI, which is predictive tools or forecasting tools, there the basic math has to be understood for that. And I'm sure the kind of math that is involved, all of you can do it very well without a lot of hard work. And the third thing nowadays is the prompt engineering. And with the large language models, LLMs, they are being used in every single organization, big organization now. And I think Arna ma'am will vouch for this. So at least how to use these LLMs, which are the standard LLMs. So Bloomberg has a finance LLM, which can be used by the people who are in finance profession. So understanding how to use these LLMs, and there is no need to go to the architecture or the technical background of that LLM. So I think these three tools one can learn. And of course, that ICMA is now launching all these courses. But believe me, these are just introductory courses still. There is a lot of new learning that one can do, and especially the people who can spare a little bit more time. There are loads of different courses which are available online, which are free and which are really have very, very good content. And a lot of stuff can be learned from them as far as going deeper into a particular topic. So yeah, that's the answer.
Thank you, Professor, for letting all of us know the skill sets that we need to possess to be one of the users of AI. We are still not reaching the SME level intelligence in that topic. But a useful start for anyone who is looking at and is curious about artificial intelligence, because AI is becoming a reality as we proceed with the conversation. And this reality, to deal with it, what I personally feel is we need to speak to someone who has dealt with that reality and created some product out of it, created some tangible outcome by studying artificial intelligence. So we have one of the panel members, CMA Ashutosh, who has started a, a specific startup which has now culminated into organization that caters not only just the document management processing and caters to many other functionalities that it provides. What I want to understand, CMA Ashutosh, after we know what skills to work on, we know what humans will do and what AI will do, is if we have to really remove the human misjudgment or AI's misjudgment and then build a product around artificial intelligence, what does it do for management accounting professionals? That's one question to you. The second thing, what element of future work will require this human hindsight of understanding that while we are developing and handing over repetitive tasks or some smaller tasks to artificial intelligence, what do we still keep it to ourselves? Although a part of it has been answered by CMS Subhashish, how has been your journey of developing an artificial intelligence product? CMA Ashutosh.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. There are multiple facets to it. I'll try to be very brief and to the point as much as possible. But in my opinion, there is no human who can claim to be perfect human. And similarly, there is no currently there is no AI that can claim to be 100% accurate and precise and consistent. So in my opinion, and there is also another aspect of it, which is how fast is human learning versus how fast is the machine learning, right? So if you look at the curve of machines learning from the data and the situations that humans are teaching them, remember, ultimately AI is not learning by itself. It did not start learning by itself. The beginning was by a human, right? So human started it off, and now it has become a snowball, right? It has exponentially created that rhythm. We were just speaking around 1940s is where we have early evidence of AI being researched or talked about, right? And until 2000 or until even 2010, we did not have the kind of awareness that we have today. Just 2 years back, we did not have the awareness that we have today. So the exponential nature of AI is obviously very real. So in my opinion, it is very important for us to ensure that we control AI and not transfer the kind of intelligence that we possess inadvertently to AI, because it can get scary. So and we are already in cyber war, cyber warfare, terrorism, and other antisocial means. We already see that there are capabilities that we should be scared about. So that would be my hope, that we don't transfer obviously consciousness is not there in the artificial intelligence, but the kind of general intelligence that humans possess will still stay with humans is my hope.
Well, this is a point, CM Ashutosh, that you have mentioned, which puts all of us as humankind into a thought how responsibly we have to accept and live with artificial intelligence. I'm sure most of us have responsibly got married and we are managing good with those lives. Now, this is another marriage that all of us will get into, and we have to survive that as well as is what I would have an opinion about. While we did understood of how we get acquainted with artificial intelligence skills that we acquire, what comes to my mind is all of us are Indians, and while buying a vehicle or while buying a car, what we think is ये गाड़ी कितना देती है in terms of the mileage, right? That's the important question for everyone. I agree, and on top of it, to make it better, we are cost accountants, right? So that would be the first question everyone would ask. And I'm sure this question, being head of an technology organization, uh, Ms. Aruna will be hearing from all the customers is if you are selling us artificial intelligence products of Microsoft, uh, ये Microsoft का AI, I know one product, Copilot. What's the ROI? And how do I evaluate the ROI? Because at times, whenever we start with any new innovation, the costs look very high. But then I'm sure with Microsoft pulling out heavy revenue numbers, you already know that answer. And now we want to know, Miss Aruna.
Thank you so much. So I think, I just wanted to kind of start with the fact that, as you were saying, that artificial intelligence is not something new. Okay. We have been, and he was just telling, it started in 1940s and 1950s when the computer started. It started understanding the human, what Mr. He also said that, how it started understanding the humans. Then we moved to machine learning, where data was the most critical one, where we linked the data to give us more predictions about what we wanted to do. And then we moved to more deep learning, where there were more neural networks which had started. Now, generative AI is what has now started, which is 2 years down the line when ChatGPT came in. Now, I just wanted to, before going to the ROI, just to help understand that what is generative AI? And I'm not an engineer. For me, I'm a finance professional. I really want to understand that what is it going to do to us. Now, I think I understand it, and being I'm privileged to be in an organization which is so much invested in AI, which thinks that, like in the past, the printing press and the electrification, now the AI will really democratize and help human to our mission to achieve more. So what we look at it is two aspects. One, it just is a natural interface. It is able to converse with us. That's the first side of it. The second side of it is able to reason and give us an analytics or insights, and is able to reason out with the data. So what if everybody said, the data is the key, is the oil. So it's kind of now giving us the reasoning power to give us the insight. So those are the two aspects when I look at generative AI, and that's what is really how we should be using it for. Now, I think we are very clear that it's not a human, it is a co-pilot, and that's why we name our tools also a co-pilot. It is going to help us being more efficient, doing the right things, and it is not in the pilot seat. It is the co-pilot with us. It is the assistant to us to help us take the right predictions. If I look at my journey of finance also, in the earlier days we used to sit, once at that point, no computers, to Mr. He started, to when we started having computers, to when we started doing forecasting on Excel sheets, which was also again Microsoft, I would say, invented. But then now we don't even need to do that. We just click a button and it tells me, and I can tell you of the example I have, that in the past 106, we are in 150 countries. Everybody would do an Excel and say, oh, this is my forecast for the year, for my country, for my area, for my this. Now it doesn't, because machine has learned, or the data has learned. But the click of the button, they say that based on the trends, this is going to be your revenue for the next month. And basis that, then make the judgment if I have that, is it the right thing to do? Is it the right judgment? Because maybe I know something new, which I can kind of do that. So that's how we are looking at it. Now, from an ROI perspective, finance, and we're very clear. So we put, we need to get the investment. Now, IDC, not Microsoft, but IDC had come out, and I know Goldman Sachs is also coming out to looking at AI and seeing it. IDC has clearly come up with a research that if every $1 you get a $3.5 back, where companies have used AI, they have had faster implementations, faster go-to market. So you need to kind of look at it. And every CFO we meet, see everyone, and including us, we will say that, okay, where is the ROI going to come from? So we need to kind of look at it in two different aspects. One, how is it going to kind of help us be more efficient? When we say, being very, very efficient in understanding what the patterns are, what the customer wants, what it is. So it just is helping us to be efficient, to go to the customer faster, to do all of that. Second is, it is also going to help us to personalize to that person, to say that, how are we going to kind of ensure that you're selling more, etc. So I think, as she rightly said, like people, organizations which are not going to use AI are going to be left behind versus organizations which use AI, because they will be much faster. Because if one thing which we are all finance professionals have to look at is the external world is disrupting so fast, market models coming so fast, new models, business models coming so fast. The CEO is looking to the CFO or the finance professional to help them navigate through these complexities. And if we have to help them navigate through that, we have to be faster, more efficient, know what the thing is. And what is going to help us? It is our digital transformation to the AI world, to the digital world, which will help us cater to that. So that's what I would say is the clear ROI. Yes, it will come on its way. And every organization is going through their own different ways. Because what I would say is, data is the key, and garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't have a good data, then you don't get the output which is good. So that's where the companies have to invest, look at it, and look at it more short term versus a long term thing.
Well, the discussion got a bit serious, and deep work is what we did discuss about artificial intelligence. I agree, garbage in, garbage out. So AI is fundamentally driven by what I would call as some queries and languages, and second, data. So I want to understand now from the two panelists who are on the technology side, CMA Ashutosh and Ms. Aruna, in terms of what do you say when you say a good data, and what do you say when you say that this is bad data? Because as cost accountants, I don't want to put point on the customers that I've worked with. I don't know whether we get good data or bad data from customers, because it is coming in an email attachment marked as private, right? And when it opens up, most of the times, my feeling, what I want to say, that data is probably not the good data. So how do you look at it? So from a software perspective, you can help us to synthesize what do you mean by good data in artificial intelligence, which helps us to take decisions. Well, AI should hand over the mic automatically. Right. Check. It's okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
So actually, good data or bad data, there are some absolute bad data examples, but good versus bad is relative, even in artificial intelligence. Because there is some absolute bad data examples, like in our case, we are a document intelligence AI platform, right?
Yep.
So if I get a really bad picture of a document, it is absolutely on every scale garbage, right? Because no human can read it, and no AI can decipher it.
Yeah.
Right. So that is on absolute scale, that is bad data. But when you are talking about data, it all depends on what use case are you driving and what decisions are you trying to make. If you are using the population and demography data for public policy making, then an outlier of a bad element in your society is actually a bad data.
Yeah.
Right.
Understand.
But if you are going through the demographics for researching mass destruction potential from a terrorist's angle, right?
Good data.
That same data is actually good data, right? So it all depends on what answers are you trying to find, what is the intent of your machine learning model. It defines the quality of your data.
Well, extending questions on when CMA Ashutosh described good and bad data, when it comes to you at Microsoft, your team's daily job would be explaining people to adopt the practices of good and bad data while they're as a pre-step for adopting artificial intelligence. What are the things that your customer you advise that should be the pre-steps for accepting good and bad data? And while you explain that, explain it from a financial consultant, cost accountant, or a finance professional angle, so that it becomes also pre-step for all of us to learn from it.
Sure. So I think, what is important when you're looking at adopting artificial intelligence and everything in your organization, and I can tell our journey, and it's not been a journey which is 1 year, 2 year. We've been doing it in the last 10 years, I would say. I've been in Microsoft 10 years, and it's been a journey from that point of time. There were times when we used to sit in and review where your data versus my data versus having one single source of truth for everybody to kind of look at. So what is important for any organization to move towards it is to first to think about what is the data, I would say architecture or quality of data which you are looking at, and how do you integrate all of these sources to one platform. Because what is important for us, and it doesn't have to be day one, you kind of look at it as a step process to say, okay, here is what I want to attack as the first process which I want to, for example, what the other person was saying, say invoice approval process. So look at that data. Where is it coming from? Which sources? How do I consolidate all this data into one platform? And then start putting the tools on top, the AI tools on top, to help me do those tasks. So AI can help us do 4 tasks, and from a finance standpoint, I can kind of look at that. That one, it will help us complete tasks. The first one. Second, it will help us summarize information, large data and things. It will help us kind of summarize and be efficient. Third, it can also create content for us. It can help us do the content creation and do that. And 4, it can give you insights. So if you have to address these 4 areas, then it is important that we look at 5 things. One, we need to have a data, I would say, governance process. First, you need to say, what is your data strategy? Second, you need to say what will be the governance, because what he really said, responsible AI is very important. And we as an organization are also very clear that what you need to do is a very, very important responsible AI. So you need to have one, the first one you need to is, what is the strategy you want to do? What is the governance process you want to put? What's the data quality you're looking at? What is the data integrity you are looking at, and what's the data architecture you're looking at? And of course, I'll come to the other side on storage, security, which is very important with all the attacks, and security is an extremely important one. With data being the new things and attacks, what he said, it's so much more important for every organization to kind of look at how do you ensure that there is enough more security around your data processes. So I would kind of say, when we go to any CFO or anything, we tell them the same thing, that we have gone through that process of consolidating. We started with 10 sources of data. Now we have in our data lake, which is all related with BI, we have 150 sources of data. And it's democratized. We don't have anybody looking at anything on Excel. It's all one place. We have all the sources of data on a data lake. and it is actually virtualization which we do on our own if you want to see what data, etc. So I think it's a step process. Look at it with that way. That's the strategy you want to have, how you're going to integrate them, and what are the things which you want from it. That's what I would say.
Taking advantage of my day, misusing it. Data in the information bazaar. AI information bazaar. AI is information bazaar. In this information bazaar, you have to data means D means data. Yeah. AI means to be analyzed. T means tested. AI means acted upon. Thank you.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that summarizes a lot of questions that I have in mind. Uh, I I have a I have a I wanted to understand now a view on a different element. You mentioned about meeting CFOs, and at that time, what came to my mind is what CFOs are thinking today. And probably in most of the cases when I interact with them in the capacity of CXOs, what they are looking at from a manufacturing organization's perspective, since most of my fellow cost accounting fraternity professionals, they work in manufacturing companies. You need a reason to shine in your organization and drive projects for your own manufacturing companies. This question to CMA Subhashish Da is, being a cost accountant, uh, I just don't have to work on the finance or costing element, but I touch base individually with many other functions in the organization. One point being quality management, second point being production management and controls. There are other facets to it. You would call it as assurance also, which comes as internal as well as external. How do I shine using artificial intelligence by bringing in project not just in finance, but using that understanding of artificial intelligence and bringing out projects in these different functions that we mentioned and get that good data to you in the finance domain? How would a CMA work on it from your own version of answer?
That means you want to know how the data will be collected or like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not just data would be collected, what projects I can think in terms of cost controls, quality management, production management, artificial intelligence being the base and financial understanding being the another component of it. How I as a cost accountant would work in my industry.
Definitely, you can utilize all the chat bots and the artificial intelligence techniques as well to collect your data and so that your production is not excess produced. Excess produced, excess manufactured without concerning and without consulting your data, production data, your budgeted sales data. So it will not give you better result, because if you go for that, it will be overstocking. Overstocking means overutilization of your resources. So your carbon footprint will be there, excess carbon footprint will be there, you'll be utilizing your, whatnot, your furnace, your everything will be there. So you have to manage that with that AI techniques and tools so that you can collect the proper data. I can tell you that just now he was asking about the bad data or good data. If I don't use that term, if I use a term rather bias, suppose the data being collected from West Bengal, where most of the Bengalis are fish eater, and if I put the data like that way, 80% of the population they are having consuming fish. And if I ask it on the next day in the context of India, how many people are consuming the non-vegetarian fish, it will reply 75% or 80%. Is it true? So this is called a biased data. So it's not a bad data, or we call it a something of that kind. So it's as similar as in the case of manufacturing organization, when you have, it is not only manufacturing, it is selling as well. It is procuring as well. So you have to utilize the artificial intelligence in such a way and the data collected in such a way that it helps to decide you how much quantity we will manufacture. with the shelf life as well, if it is a perishable goods and all that. So it is up to you which chatbot, which equipment you will utilize. It is dependent on the finance professional, how you are going to collect the data itself. That is much what I can tell you at this junction point, because we never know what will happen tomorrow. We always decide about the what we are talking about. We collect the data. Suppose it will come from that area of India, this area from that. It will be less cost and all that. So you are procuring it from Gujarat and all that. If tomorrow Bhuj has got an earthquake, what is going to do? So your data should be of that kind. It should consider every facet of your possibilities, every facet of your opportunities as well. That's much.
Thank you, Subhashishda. While I was asking question about my fellow CMA colleagues in manufacturing, one thing that comes to my mind, and this question is to Professor Rahi as well as Miss Aruna and CMA Ashutosh, is if you can explain us in bits, when a CMA is working on the manufacturing side, which is the production quality and the payable side of the organization, there is also a lot of value utilizing artificial intelligence one can add as a CMA to the customer side of business, which is from where the real money revenues come into business. Learning artificial intelligence skill sets and then applying it to which part of customer service it would help. Some things that come to my mind have bots set up, or something that would come is automation of your sales process. But then also it scares me, which Miss Aruna can answer, is I have been an avid user of Ola as well as Zomato as well as Paytm, where the customer service is automated via bots, but it comes to a massive halt when you ask them a tougher question or you are in a severe problem. They don't answer you beyond that point. So how do you reconcile this? We'll start with CMA Ashutosh. Developing and contributing as a CMA using artificial intelligence to the customer interaction process for an organization.
I think from a cost and finance perspective, delivering better top line is something that the organization always does collectively, and primarily it is a responsibility of sales organization. I mean, it is led by sales, but obviously in this is what I believe in. Everybody in the company sells. Everybody in the company markets, and everybody in the company serves customer. It's not just the sales doing the sales job. So from that perspective, certainly I believe that everyone, including CMAs in the organization, have a role to play in making our customer service and sales process efficient. And that I think CMAs can contribute to by looking at the cost and interaction data and doing forecasting analytics on top of it to understand what are the bottlenecks in these processes in trying to determine where exactly we need to put our automation. Right. So I guess what kind of ROI and the cost benefit we should get will come from the data analytics from the past.
Yeah.
And that's what I think CMA should do.
Yeah. Insightful. Miss Aruna, if you can help us with customer interaction, how we play as a role. I understand bots are there, but how CMA plays a role and mark its spark in its organization.
So the only thing which I will say is that, when we look at the breadth of the finance function, record to report, procure to pay, order to cash, budgeting, planning, risk and compliance, operations, I think I will say artificial intelligence can be implemented in every part of the organization. That's what I would say. And as finance professionals, what does every CFO want to support the business? That they are able to support the business efficiently, faster, and are able to get the decisions based on what they want for the growth of the organization. So that's their aim. And if you have to do that, then it's the transformation from a digital standpoint across every organization. Now when we come to the customer service side of it, okay, as I was saying that couple of things which AI does very well is that it is very efficient. It can be it is available anytime as a bot or whatever it is, which is not there if it is a human interaction. Second, it can be very personalized, and somebody was talking about how Facebook and Insta gives you, based on what you have seen, it'll give you more place, the same kind of things to kind of go and look at. But does that help? Is upsell, cross sell, increase your sales, because that's what it is helping you to drive, because it's directing you to that kind side of the organization. How do you kind of sell? And I can tell you that we have just implemented a few of these bots in some of the airlines currently, the large airlines in India. And if you actually look at it, that they what they're trying to address, they know that 50-60% of the queries can be addressed by these bots, because it's not a very very complex kind of a thing. And that's how they really plan their organization, that here is where 60-70% can be addressed, and the bot with the kind of data they've learned over time will be able to help. However, what you rightly said, that if there are complex things, then you have that human interaction. That's when you have that the AI or the data helps you, that this is where the status is and this is how you can help. I think organizations are looking at that transformation and that journey together. It's not that needs to be entirely a bot driven or things like that, but it does help them to be efficient, able to upsell, cross sell in a much more efficient manner. And that's what I would say, as we are looking at different organizations.
Quite insightful and on the point. Thank you, Ms. Aruna. Professor Rahi, in terms of when we speak of artificial intelligence adopted by various institutions, why don't you share any example in your own research that it might be personal experience from your own research, or the fellow students that you coach, being the PhD guide, of the interesting innovations that you have understood getting real today, and how does it change the next 4 to 5 years for us, and where, as finance professionals, again coming back to the main point, where as finance professionals we have an opportunity to innovate and become a better version of consultant, professional, or a worker.
So, Ms. Aruna and I think Ashutosh sir have already addressed this question to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I feel there are a couple of different domains in which AI can be used in addition to everything that has been discussed. And yesterday I had a discussion with one of the very big revenue management company, US-based revenue management company, and they were telling me that they are facing a very real problem of billing exemptions. So there are a lot of their customers have exemptions, and they want to actually use AI to predict. So AI can be used for prediction, forecasting, and various different things. But one of the things that can make it even better is to actually have human in loop kind of a mechanism. And second is where it can learn from its own mistakes. So so for example, you were mentioning that Ola, Uber, at times they give a wrong answer, or they kind of not give an answer that you expect.
Yep.
Even ChatGPT, if you use, I'm sure a lot of us have used ChatGPT today while preparing for this actually.
Yeah.
So you don't like a certain answer that is given to you, and you keep on kind of improving your question or your prompt. So in the same way, it can be done for every AI specific work. And the bottom line is to learn it first.
Yeah.
And then go ahead with it.
Interesting take. Anyone from panel in terms of do you want to add any comment on how we can, yeah?
What she really, when she was talking about the skills we need to develop as finance professionals, I'm not an engineer. We're all finance professionals, but what are the things which we really need to, if and there are a lot of students and everybody who will be watching it. But what's very important for us is, in addition to what she was talking about, the digital literacy in terms of getting those skills about how do you do data visualizations, how do you understand all those tools, be very curious, upgrade yourself. I think what is very, very important for AI is how do you ask the question. So what she just said about prompts, how you can really sharpen your question will be what you will get as answer. So I think what we really need to, and that's what we're also learning as much as the AI, is that how do you make it much more sharper, so that you can then get the best answer out of that, the bot, I would say.
Yeah. All the WH were answered now is what I can say. Thank you, panel. Subhashish Da has a comment extended to Ms. Aruna.
I would like to say one thing in regard to this skill setting and all that. Apart from this prompt, I would like to say the prompt engineering is also very important case in the case of CMS. For that, you don't need to have a BTech or MCR like that. You just train yourself. There are a lot of sites which will train you the prompt engineering and how to write the prompt as well. Apart from that, I would like to say the CMS should train themselves how to attach their office suite like Microsoft Office Word, Excel, and PowerPoint by generating the API key, the application programming interface key, so that it will be attached with their different office suites. And they can take advantage of these AI chatbots and all that. Thank you.
Any concluding? Yeah, please, sir. Please, sir.
Apart from that, you have to learn the R language. R is very important now because I was just forgetting to tell you that R is very important because it is a statistical interpretation and visualization of your data. It will be very important for the CMS in coming days. You have to learn R.
Any concluding comments, CMA Ashutosh?
I guess we have already, all the panel members have already discussed about the skills that are necessary. I would really like all the students and even the finance professionals to not think about finance only. How can we go beyond finance? How can we provide leadership to the organization that we are part of? Can I introduce something in the organization which is probably related to finance or may not be related to finance? So I think those qualities will never go waste. Whether you are a finance guy or a non-finance professional or sales guy, whoever you are, if you are looking to go forward in your life by learning new things, being inquisitive, being curious, and trying to contribute wherever you can, I think that's what actually will help you understand what's missing, right? So I think that's what I would say.
Thank you. This reminds me of one of the first definition in my commerce or finance education that I had learned, which was definition of economics. Any volunteers for economics definition? What I remember is economics was the science which used to study demand and supply. And the definition that it says by Henry Fayol is there will be unlimited demands, and to supply or solution or give solution to those demands will be limited, and we have to balance out. And that's what I'm trying to balance. I understand that artificial intelligence is a topic which is C in itself, But this was our starter session, was the first session by the Artificial Intelligence Committee, and we are celebrating the Artificial Intelligence Appreciation Day. So this was to start appreciation. Can we all conclude that artificial intelligence is not artificial, it's real? With that, and I surely have an answer to go back proudly and give it to my son, that artificial intelligence is real, and I can show him some examples. While I say that, there are many questions that all of you will have in your mind, which is how to approach RPA, how to, there will be questions on RPA, there will be questions on deep learning, there will be additionally questions on many other topic. But yeah, that's for another day is what I would conclude with. I uh, I humbly thank all the panel members today for participating in this seminar with a clear focus on appreciating artificial intelligence, which I understand the longest journey is done by anyone. They start with the first step. And I can understand that this committee has taken the first step by organizing the seminar. We will all clap for the organizing committee and appreciate the effort that's been put forward. I want to thank all the committee members, CMA Neeraj Joshi ji, for giving me this opportunity to work as a panel member. And I will leave you all with a joke about artificial intelligence. Yeah, while I come to the joke part of it, thank you participants. You came out with some interesting good names on artificial intelligence bot. Well, we should have a session together one day. There were names which were suggested as Sarvadnya, Ask Me, Merline AI Assistant, Mac, Vincent, Bandhu, I like it. Avatar, MAA, My Artificial Assistant, and Pragya. Thank you for all the responses from everyone. I will leave you guys with one joke on AI because we were very serious about artificial intelligence. It has some role to play with us. Is why did an AI program go for a therapy? Can anyone answer? AI program actually had to go for a therapy. And why was that? Can anyone? It actually had a glitch in its program. Hence, it had to go for therapy. Well, I will leave you with that joke and thought. Thank you, everyone, for your participation in person, online, and thank you for all the response. I wish you, everyone, a good evening and a good day, which is remaining with. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So I thank everybody for joining this program. Special thanks to Rishikesh also, who has taken a lot of efforts and pain to frame the questions interestingly. And I'm sure that this has been a very interesting session for all. And we all have enjoyed. And I'm thankful to all the panelists for giving their take on AI so that we all have learned a little more. And this journey will continue. It will not end today, but it will continue for a long period of time. I'm also very thankful to my secretariat and also our IT team for giving us this support, because AI without IT support is like not AI. So they are really handling it well. Also, thanks to the Scope Complex team for making this event possible. And we'll end this event as a routine practice with the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंह
photograph together.